Actually, this is Shastra Krupa, means Guru Krupa. Always protects us right time. Any crucial time of our life. Really, the Shastra Krupa protects. And interestingly, as we have seen more and more, that when there is a Shastra Krupa, right time our thinking changes. We'll be seeing 2-3 verses in this regard, so that I am building up, okay? The third verses up from this, we'll see this verse. How? So here, the teacher here, Adi Shankaracharya, highlights how one should not have Atma Buddhi in body, in the head. So, let us read verse number 161. Atratma buddhim tyajamuda buddhe Tvam mam samedosti puri sharasau Sarvatmani brahmani nirvikalpe Kurushva shanti paramam bhajashva. Very nicely. Really, if you are really interested to gain, bhajasva, to gain, to seek, of course if you are seeking, what is that seeking? Shantim, which is paramam, the peace that is absolute, supreme. Because we all are peaceful, depends upon person, depends upon sense object. All our peace, it's like after a war, that is called peace. So sometimes ceasefire is called peace, okay? But that peace completely depends upon the sense objects, not with the resolution that is in me. That we call as common peace is bilateral relationship. All these peace summit wherever, all over the world, okay, or in a given family relationship or in office, anywhere. So all peace summit is nothing but bilateral relationship. But all these peace are very ordinary, common. So here we are talking about Paramam Santi, the Santi, the peace, that which is absolute, that which is supreme. So to gain that, you need to do something. So what is that doing? Okay, before doing something, let us look at what generally you do, because mind has to keep doing something or other. So generally what you do, that's why you have always workful mind or once in a while bilateral peace relationship. Let us look at that part first. So he says, look, generally you have Atma Buddhi. So Atma Buddhi means the Buddhi, the decision or way of thinking that is being developed because of I identification. nodes where त्वक मांस मेध अस्ति पुरुष रासौ. The body is not being put, but we have that. The body, that which consists or combination of त्वक, skin, mansa, flesh, meda, fat, asti, bone, purisha. Purisha means filth. That he never forgets, okay? He fixed this word everywhere, okay? To remind you how dirty you are, okay? And etc. You add whatever you want to add, okay? So there you have Atma Buddhi. So that is me. Now the thinking process is completely connected to that. And when this is there, now what happens? There is a fight. Between left hand and right hand there is a fight. If you really understand between both of them, there is a fight. I'll tell you how the fight happens. This is a very good point to understand. And in fact, I have gone through this situation. One child was trying to write in the left hand. So, I have my funny idea, because really somehow I have my own funny idea. Whether it's right or wrong is secondary. Okay. I said, no. Child should not learn in left hand. Let us push right hand. Okay, we managed to push right hand from the childhood. We did. But most of the time, the child gets confused between 6 and, there are 2 letters, 1 minute, like opposite. Yeah, even including 4, writing 4 also, will write opposite mirror way. The 4 will be writing in mirror way. Many alphabets was mirrored. Like, for example, B and D, that was a very good point, okay? B and D was confusing for all the time. B place D, D place B. Some confusion will be there because the child had this mirror image. So what I am highlighting here is, so that means there was some conflict between left hand, right hand. This is the point, nothing else, okay? Don't get into psychological aspect. What I am very carefully using it. If I give more importance to the right hand, left hand will be weaker. And the left hand will not support me. If I give more importance to the left hand, right hand will be weaker. Right hand will not support me. Have you not observed? So in short, as long as there is Dehatma Buddhi, this is the point. Atma Buddhi means Dehatma Buddhi. Dehe Atma Buddhi. I look at my body as me. In short. And that long what? I am a Mudha Buddhi. My Buddhi is really deluded. There is a delusion. And he says, Tyaja, give up, grow out of it. So one need to grow out of this. Okay? Growing out of it is not going to be solution. Because anywhere you want to give up something, you have to grab something. Unless you grab, can you give up? And mind is something, unless you grab something better, superior, will not be able to give up the inferior one either. That's why he says, look, Sarvatmani Brahmani Nirvikalpe Kurushvaiti. So instead of developing Atma Buddhi, identifying yourself as body-mind complex, look at Sarvatmani, the self of all. That is called Brahmana. In Brahmani, so that is Brahman. In that, and which is that Nirvikalpa, means free from vikalpas, all modifications. Now start Kurushva, identify. Means try to understand, try to see that as me. Then of course, you will start really what? The mind will become peaceful. It is not a bilateral relationship. It is unilateral. And if there is unilateral relationship, it makes no difference what happens to others, or really what goes wrong or what becomes right. Both are one. How? Let us read also next. Dehendriyada vasati bhramoditam vidwan hantam na jahati yavat tavanna tasyasti vibhukti varta apyastvesha vedanta nayantantadarshi vedanta tanayantadarshi. Says beautifully. Very strong as usual he uses. Look, Vedanta Nayantadarshi, the one who has studied or who has vision of Vedanta, means for whom eyes are on Vedanta, means the one who really has studied properly Vedanta. Now he says, look, even if that person will definitely, there is vimukti vartaha, the person talks a lot about liberation, but remember, that does not mean the person is liberated. How, why, and when, and how long? Yavat, he uses word yavat and tavat. As long as deha indriyadau asati brahmaditam ahantam. So ahantam means identification of me, identification of I. So as long as deha indriyado, with the body and sense organs, and of course brahmoditam, this is nothing but Brahma delusion. Even if the person is a Vidwan, learned, that to Vedanta Nayantadarshi, that long what happens? That long definitely the person is a part of it. That's why it's no jahati, does not give up. As long as the person does not give up, or is not able to give up the identification with this body, which is nothing body and sense organs, etc., body mind complex, and which comes because of the Brahma, because of the delusion, even though they are unreal, but it appears to be real. Yes, do know, we say very nicely, okay? Sarvam Brahma iti, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, no doubt in it. But when Bhandara comes, Dakshina is not there. That is not Brahma, it's called Brahma. Like, especially, I'll give you another joke. This is Swami joke, another joke is called all the priest joke, okay? They will do all the rituals, everything in a very high spirit, high way, okay? Looking for Dakshina. That's why in between, you are supposed to give some Dakshina, you understand? That's why Chennai is very smart, okay? Packaged. So there is no issue at all, no discussion, nothing. Including in between this Dakshina, is required, that they will take care. You don't have to worry whether they use Dakshatana Samarpayami or 1 rupee coin or 5 rupee coin or 10 rupees note, makes no difference to you, okay? Because everything is packaged. So you can see there the Veda is a Brahma, Shabda is a Brahma. Very nice point. I observe this point, okay? For them, Shabda is a Brahma. You should see the way they chant. But real Brahma is Dakshina. When Dakshina is high, you should see more chanting, loud chanting. Wow! Do you know, all 32 teeth will come out like, do you know, toothpaste advertisement. So here, how this changes? All these are nothing. The identification with insecurity, habitual error, lot of other things. That's why you can see. This was the tradition. Unfortunately, this is going away. Especially in Chennai, things have really becoming bad. It's very rare to find in Chennai now a priest's son is a priest. As per the rule, priest's son should be priest. Why? Because seeing your father contentment, seeing your father's gracious way of living, you imbibe those qualities. But unfortunately, most of the people, those who are in Chennai, Brahmins, their grandfather or great-grandfather, somebody or other must be a priest in village or somewhere, and must be doing very good, gracious, and because of that person's fellow's karma, this fellow traveled to Chennai, got into job. Then after that, chapter is closed. Look at you, some of you, okay? Indirectly I am hitting you, some of you, okay? Yeah. Try to look at the source, okay? And of course, those who did the, let us say, priest still, they never allow the next generation to become priest. Some frustration in them. And some of the half fellows, after retirement, for time pass, they become priest. I am not telling you jokes. The best example is Shraddha. If somebody listens to me, they will kill me, okay? Swamiji, don't talk all the secret, okay? Especially in public, okay? It is going in YouTube and everywhere. Please don't do that, okay? Especially Shraddha. Shraddha means anniversary, death anniversary, because we have a very good rituals. Every death in anniversary, we call a person, so who will be representing and supposed to eat. Generally, one is not supposed to eat that food. It's very dangerous, to be very honest. Shraddha food is not supposed to be eaten, as a rule. Even if you eat, you have to do 10,000 times Gayatri Mantra same day. It's mandatory. Imagine you guys, after changing the punam, changing the sacred thread, next day you are supposed to do 1,000. What you do, you know better, okay? And also all our mammies are very smart. All our mothers are very smart. Do you know what they do? They keep some payasam. Hey, from the childhood, this is the... Now this fellow has grown up. See, earlier it was there, you know, hey, you do 1,000 times of Gayatri Mantra, there is payasam for you. So child, for the sake of payasam, is motivated and does 1,000 times. Now this fellow is grown up, can go to any moment, anywhere, can eat payasam or whatever he wants, ice cream, whatever he wants. Still now that culture is going on. Hey, payasam is that. This fellow is not interested. Then what will do? So 1,000 is over. I'm sorry, but this is the truth of reality, okay? So some of you must have done that, okay? I'm sure. If you have not done, just recollect, okay? However, how this set of things, the priest, when himself is not contented, satisfied, not looked at Veda as a pramana, that Veda protects me, the person cannot continue it. That's why new generation, what they are doing, some of them are good. After coming to overseas, doing well. Now they started forming a group. Now they want to revive it, directly or indirectly. In fact, that was the moment which brought the present government into the power. This is the truth, this is the reality. Mr. Modi became Prime Minister of India in 2014, not because of Indian people, not from the Indian people in India. The movement started from overseas. That momentum took so strong that got influence in India. And they did not know what to do in Indian politics. They had to bring a person who has got a Hindu face. This is the truth, this is the reality. Let me not get into politics, how it happens. Somehow it has been protected up to great extent, but we will see. But I am again looking for another great person, let us see, okay? However, coming back to the point, the identification with the body and mind is so natural, so real for a common person. Like a priest, identification with the insecurity, poverty is so natural. That is how they went wrong. Daridra Brahmana. Brahmana is always poor. This is what we have a description. Very unfortunate description, especially you go to villages, any part of the world, India. Brahmins are poor. So the identification with the poverty, insecurity is so common. That's why they don't want to let my child study and become software engineer, okay? Nowadays. So all target of the Brahmin families, my child should study and become engineer. Because all of you are engineer, okay? Stupid fellows you are, okay? Coming back to the point, okay? I think, yeah, except one man lawyer, all of them are engineer here, huh? Very bad, including, this, Elio, you are also engineer, am I right? No, okay, thank you. Ajit, okay. Okay, so, okay. Ajit, starting from Ajit, all of you, okay? Can you see this point? So everybody's target was that, okay? My child should be engineer. However, that is not get into. So you are engineer, so good for me, okay? If it's not good for you, it's good for me. I respect you all, okay? Coming back. So even if the person is well versed in Vedanta philosophy, I am using the word philosophy, okay? Here, very carefully, okay? Vedanta is not a philosophy. Vedanta is not at all, it is a darsana. Darsana means way of seeing. But for these people, Vedanta is a philosophy. So in this way you can use it, okay? Only this place, not any other place, okay? Please, we never say Vedanta is a philosophy. It's a wrong statement. This means shows your immaturity. You do not know what you are talking. So that person, what happens? As long as there is relationship, as long as that person looks at this body-mind complex as me, if the person has not grown up that long, definitely, even if it talks of the words of liberation, definitely that person is not liberated at all. That's why the liberation depends upon what? Depends upon the maturity, how much distance you create between you and the body-mind complex. Let us read next. Chaya sarire प्रतिबिंबगात्रे यस्तुप्नदेहे हृदि कल्पितांगे यथात्म बुद्धिस्तव नास्ति काचित् जीव शरीरे च तथैवमास्तु. This is a beautiful verse to look at. छाया शरीरे प्रतिबिंब गात्रे. if you look at your shadow, and the shadow has fallen down on a good thing, on food. Because the shadow has fallen on food, you think your stomach will be full? Hopefully not, okay? Suppose your shadow has fallen on impurity, some shit. Will you go and take bath? Unless you have some issue, okay? And of course, another point I would like to tell you, unless you are doing some upasana, that is a way, okay? So that is another level. Those who are do upasana, lot of other issues, let me not get into. But this is not topic, okay? Here we are talking about Vedanta, it's upasana, not upasana part. So let me not mix both the things together. So here he says, Chaya Sarire Pratibimba Gatre. Generally, if you look at yourself, you will never identify yourself with your shadow, wherever it falls. If it falls on dirty places, you don't take shower. Nor when it falls on a better place, you don't get elevated. So the attribute of bad or good, wherever the shadow falls, it does not come to you because there is no identification. Can you see this point? Whereas if you are doing some upasana, and of course because of that upasana, you will not allow anybody to step on your shadow. That's why I'll tell you the beautiful part of it. When great Swamijis, when they travel, you will be shocked and surprised to know nobody will step on their shadow. All these Shankaracharyas and all these people, okay? When the group will be traveling, you will see while walking time, suppose the sun is in the east, you will discover behind them there will be nobody. Always there will be both the sides. Make sure, this is the tricks, okay? They don't, it is a traditional concept, that nobody steps on their shadow. That's why you will be shocked and surprised to know one of the temple called Puri temple is being built in such a way the top of the shadow, the top of the temple, the shadow of the temple never falls on the ground. So that nobody can step, even if people go round, because the architecture is so strong in Puri, Jagannath temple, that the shadow of the temple does not fall on the ground at all. Can you believe how nicely they have done? That's why the Gopuram, that's why the concept was, the top of it. That is the Brahma, that's why we say that is the Kalasam where they put the Kalasam. That is the main thing. Imagine if the same Kalasam is somewhere outside, nobody respects. But that Kalasam, everybody from a distance does namaskar. And the shadow of that must not fall on the ground. That is the temple architecture. Okay, let me not get into different mode because this is, this is upasana part. So that's why the culture takes care of it, because all these acharyas, why they are strong? Because of all these cultural practices. And I have observed, if these practices are not followed properly, definitely that acharya's power will go down. Especially all these Swamijis, those who start doing their own thing, whether all these great Mahatmas, whether Swami Chinmayananji, because Sivananji Maharaj was always when he was in India, Swami Chinmayananji Maharaj or Pujya Swamiji or any other Swamijis, when they go out abroad, it becomes very difficult to manage many things. Imagine if all this infrastructure had it been given to them, they would have done much more wonders. Can you see this point? Because they had to create, they had to struggle to create all this infrastructure. And a lot of energy is being wasted creating all this infrastructure. Still, you will not be able to do it either. Sometimes, to be very honest, I go through the hell because of this reason. That is the conflict in me, nothing else. Because really, to be done something for the society, all these things are must. If I have to take care of managing my energy to sustain my energy, what is the fun of doing it? Either energy to be managed or not to be managed, forget. Let me be in one place and enjoy my life. What is there? Am I going to lose anything? Or am I going to gain anything? There is nothing to be gained, there is nothing to be lost, to be very honest. Why to go through the hell? But prarabdha, okay? Only answer, nothing else. We escape through the prarabdha, okay? This is another worst thing to happen. Forget about that. Now he says beautifully, so as you do not do that, same thing also he uses another word. Yat swapna dehe hrudi kalpitange. Even if you have seen that some, let us say, dream, now in your you have a beautiful body, king body. After getting up, do you associate yourself with that body? You had another type of body, let us say very bad body, some disease. Yes, after that you get associated very much, okay? You get worried and try to check whether your body is there or not, you understand? That is there, okay? So, how you do not identify yourself with your dream body, and also not only that, he goes is very right. Kalpitange. So kalpitange means sometimes you do kalpita. Kalpita means imagination. I wish I have two feather type of, wings, so I can fly. You understand? And those who are yoga people, they say, look, I wish without doing any pranayama or anything, I can have all Ashtasiddhis. Onima, Laghima, Garima, you understand? Whenever I want to, I can become small, especially pandemic time. I can go anywhere I want, again I can be big. Of course, without practicing any pranayama, that's the most important thing. Because by practicing pranayama, all these things will come. Okay? If you want to do something, do. However, so kalpitange, so you don't identify yourself with the imagined body. That means it's very clear, at least you know, these are unreal. For the time being, the shadow falls. Even though it is visible, even if you are doing a lot of upasana and other things, it has its own limitations. That's why the story goes. Whether it is true or not, don't ask. That's how Manisha Panchakam came. The 5 verses on knowledge. When Adi Shankaracharya took bath and was coming to Kashi to meet Kashi Vishwanatha, so he saw one Chandala. So Chandala means a person who doesn't have any lifestyle, can eat anything and everything. Now he says, Gacha, Gacha. Give the way, give the way. Then the Chandala starts replying, whom to you are asking? Which way one can live? Do you look at me as body? And if you look at me as a body, your body and my body, is there any difference? Your body is made up of 5 elements. My body also is made of 5 elements. You have 5 kosas, I have got 5 kosas. Tell me in which way I am different from you. And Atma Buddhiya, from the absolute standpoint, is there any difference between you and me? As you are, so also me. How can we say, Gacha, Gacha? Give the way, give the way. That time, Adi Shankaracharya said, I made a mistake. This person is not ordinary. Now he says, look, whoever you may be, whether you are Chandala, makes no difference, but you are the teacher for me. And 5 verses comes, Manisha Panchakam, we have taken I think some time. Long back somewhere we have taken already. I think this session we have taken some time. If not taken, we'll do once more. That's not a problem. But this is a very beautiful way of looking at it. What is highlighted there? What was highlighted there? Can you see this point? So here, even if Adi Shankaracharya got opportunity, these are the we look some excuses. It is like we have in Uttarkasi we have this problem. Okay, suppose we want to have some deep fried things, but mind says no, not to have. But we always look for some excuse. Somebody comes, so in that person's name, make something and eat. Any ashram you see, this is what many times happens. They find out some excuse just to eat, because directly they don't feel like. So if somebody comes, some occasion they create, so that no problem, taken care. However, like that, Shankaracharya wrote with the excuse. So how this thing doesn't happen? So also, one need not identify with one's living body. Because after all, this body is made up of what? Panchakoshas, skin, bone and whatnot. That means more and more you see this body is away from you. You will discover the closeness towards the body will go down. The craziness for the body will go down. Can you see this point? And of course, don't worry, it is an association of many lives karma. It is not one life karma, okay? Many lives we have gone through. But the impact will be reduced in such a way. Who knows? This will be the last birth. This is the approach, you understand? And constantly when one works, we'll see the really beauty in one's own self. Let us read next. Dehatmardhareva nrunanamasidhyam janmadi dukkha prabhavasya bijam yatastatah tvam jahitam prayatnat tyakte tu chitte na punarbhavasam. Beautifully says, Dehatmadhi eva nrunam. Dehatmadhi means nrunam asadhyam janmadi bijam dukkha prabhavasya. It's a very big statement. So bijam means the seed. Seed of what? Dukkha prabhavasya, rising of all sort of sorrows. So what is the seed? Says, look, which is the form of birth, etc. All dukkhas starts with birth, okay? Remember, because of birth, we have all problem. If we are not born, there is no. So in psychological language, we say, all problem is with hopes. Hope is birth, sense of loss is called death. Remember, this is the 2 point. Birth is called hope, and death is called sense of loss. So here is being highlighted that now Dehatmadhi, the one who has got identification with the body, the one who looks at body as me, for that nrunam, for that person, eva, alone, because of what? Asat dhyam, attached to, because the mind is so strong, attached to unreal, looking at unreal as real. Then comes what? Janmadi, because of that janma. birth comes. And forget about this body which is born, also new hopes are born. So when new hopes are born, new things are born. That is the bijam, that is the seed of what? Dukkham prabhavasya, dukkha prabhavasya. That is the cause of the rising of sorrow. So then what should you do? Yataha, because of this reason, tataha, therefore what you need to do? Tvam jahitam prayatnat. May you give up. And with effort, prayatnat means you need to put effort, it's not going to go away so quickly. It is exactly like making the cloth dirty takes 1 second. Drop few drops of ink over. But to remove that spot, how long does it take? How carefully you can? Because those, especially ladies, knows better than gents, okay? That's why gents make a mess and get out, okay? Because if you rub, why ladies are better, not gents. Gents will do, sometimes gents do better job than women. But the problem is, either their hand will go up, or the cotton, that the fabric will be gone. You understand? Any one will happen. It is very rarely to see that fabric will be intact and they will not get fed up. So men will approach anyone, okay? Most likely, unless you are something from some other planet, okay? That is another case. However, coming back to the point. So to remove the spot from the fabric, you have to be gentle. At the same time, you have to talk. You have to calculate a lot. Very carefully you have to clean. Just imagine, this is a small thing that happens just like that, a stain. The stain that we have, it's not one life stain. How many lives? Ananta. Endless lives. And how carefully one should put effort. So that's why with all sort of efforts, tyakte, when the person is able to renounce, he renounced. And where? In chitte. Not away externally, in the mind. No puna bhavasa. Exactly, that person will not again born. There is no hope to be started. No more hope will come up. And when there is no ashaha, hope, while the person is alive, absolutely no problem. That's why we always say, hope makes us to be alive. Common person is alive because of hope. Also, common person suffers because of hope. That's why somebody said, hope is the cause of all problem. A hope is not cause of all problem. You are misunderstanding that hope is really the cause of all the problem. Let hope be there. And hope is fructified, fantastic. If not fructified, also equally fantastic. But the problem is, we invest on hopes. Hope is not a problem. It is exactly like, sometimes I invest on hope when Indian border is going to open. This is a practical example, okay? Hey, look, if not today, tomorrow it will open. Even if it doesn't open, how does it matter? How does it really matter? But what happens? Because I invest, this is called investment on hopes. Then the news comes. Till July 31st, Indian are not allowed to travel anywhere. You understand? That, what is that? This is mine is other people cry, I wanted to go, what to do, what not to do. You understand? A lot of issues will come up. So this is nothing but investing on hopes. You understand? The more I invest on my hope, the more I am frustrated in my life. That's why the teacher and teaching is always highlight that never ever invest on hope. Let there be hope. And as long as the body, mind is there, there will be hope. In fact, hoping you excel. Please understand. hoping that you will be able to inhale. That's why you exhale, or else you will not exhale at all. The exhalation itself is a process of hope. Hoping that you will be able to put the step properly, that's why you lift one step. So hope is a part and parcel of life. You cannot get rid of your hopes. But the point is being highlighted, never ever invest on hopes. Let the hopes are hopes. It is like, you do your duty. That's a very nice way. Do the best, leave the rest. But the problem is, what we do, you other around, okay? Don't do rest. Leave the best or expect best. Okay? Don't do always rest while expecting best. This is our life. That's why what one need to do here, very carefully. He says, look, if the person does not want to get into this hope mode or birth and death cycle, learn to grow out of this identification of what? This called Annamaya Sharira, called grass body. Annamaya Posha, called grass body. While discussing this Annamaya Posha, now description comes. There are some around 11 verses. Description of Pranamaya Kosha and how to grow out of this Pranamaya Kosha, which we will see tomorrow onwards. Please close your eyes. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.